Good morning, parents, grandparents. This is the 2026 HLS Grammar School Recitation. We're so excited to show you what we've been working on this year. Memorization is the foundation of a classical education. Memorization has been the work of these students. It's their labor, really. Recitation is the fruit of that labor. Recitation is how these students know that they can learn anything. Recitation is how that learning becomes a blessing to others. All recitation selections are learned by each student in every class throughout the year, regardless of which class or student happens to recite it today, this morning. We hope this program serves as an emblem of the education that these students receive at Highlands Latin School. We hope it blesses you. These students have certainly been a blessing to us. Thank you again for coming, and please enjoy the recitation.
In the beginning, God created everything. All creation displays his might and majesty.
The heavens declare the glory of God. The firmament showeth his handiwork. Day unto day uttereth speech. Night unto night showeth knowledge. There is no speech or language where their voice is not heard.
Although everything God made is amazing, his creation of mankind was the most special because he made them like himself in many ways.
And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he them. Male and female created he them. And God blessed them. And God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth and subdue it.
The man and the woman rebelled against God and were separated from him. But God already had a plan to restore mankind to himself.
And the Lord God said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above every beast of the field. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel.
God's plan to restore mankind involved the beginning of a new nation when he called Abraham.
Now the Lord said unto Abram, get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land that I will show thee, and I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee, and in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed.
God's ways are often mysterious and sometimes even painful. As the nation of Israel prospered in Egypt, Pharaoh grew fearful of their numbers and forced them into slavery. God used Moses to lead them out of this bondage and into the Sinai wilderness.
And Moses said unto God, behold, when I come unto the children of Israel, and shall say unto them, the God of your fathers has sent me unto you. And they shall say unto me, what is his name? What shall I say unto them? And God said unto Moses, I am that I am. And he said, thus shall you say unto the children of Israel, I am, has sent me unto you.
And the Lord commanded Moses to bless the children of Israel by saying,
The Lord bless thee and keep thee. The Lord make his face shine upon thee, and be gracious unto thee. The Lord lift up his countenance upon thee, and give thee peace.
One day, King Darius, the new king, was tricked into making a bad decree.
And when Daniel read it, he just couldn't obey.
It said no one could pray or worship to anyone.
Except Darius the king.
Daniel believed in God.
So he couldn't change a thing.
He still prayed every day in the same old way.
And for that, he was thrown into the lion's den.
Daniel trusted God, old Daniel secure. The lions were kept in line. And on the next day, when the king looked in, he saw that Daniel was
Daniel wrote the manual on trusting in the Lord because he knew he was right. Daniel faced the lions, didn't even have a sword. His faith in God was his might.
never saw a moor but Emily Dickinson. I never saw a moor, I never saw the sea, yet know I how the heather looks, and what a wave must be. I never spoke with God, nor visited in heaven, yet certain am I of the spot, as if the sharp were given.
There is no frigate like a book by Emily Dickinson. There is no frigate like a book to take us lands away, nor any coursers like a page of prancing poetry. This traverse may the poorest take without oppressive toll. How frugal is the chariot that bears a human soul.
Shaker poem, author unknown. A man of kindness to his beast is kind. Brutal actions show a brutal mind. Remember, he who made the brute, who gave thee speech and reason, formed him mute. He can't complain, but God's omniscient eye beholds thy cruelty. He hears his cry. He was destined thy servant and thy judge. But know this, his creator is thy judge.
After the death of Moses, the Lord commanded Israel to enter the promised land in faith, believing that God would keep his promises to his people. Joshua 1:9.
Have not I commanded thee? Be strong and of a good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed. For the Lord thy God is with thee, whithersoever thou goest.
Sometimes the number of God's people dwindle. Thankfully, there is always an unexpected remnant, like a Moabite woman who left home out of love for her mother-in-law, Naomi, Ruth 1:16.
And Ruth said, entreat me not to leave thee, or to return from following after thee. For whither thou goest I will go, and where thou lodgest I will lodge. Thy people shall be my people, and thy God my God.
The Lord raised up boys like Samuel and David to become great men of faith. 1 Samuel 16:7.
For the Lord seeth not as man seeth, for man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart.
Faith was also found in a shepherd boy who stood against a giant. 1 Samuel 17:45-46.
Then David said to the Philistine, Thou comest to me with a sword, and with a spear, and with a shield, but I come to thee in the name of the Lord of hosts. This day will the Lord deliver thee into my hand, and I will smite thee, that all the earth may know that there is a God in Israel.
Sadly, people do not always delight in God's law, but God promised one to deliver us from spiritual bondage. Isaiah 9:2-6.
The people that walked in darkness have seen a great light. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace.
This one, the Messiah, is the greatest man of faith. In him, God has kept his promise, and his people are given power to live lives of faith. Jeremiah 31:31-33.
Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant I made with their fathers, which my covenant they break. But I will put my law in their inward parts, and write it on their hearts, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people. small proportions, we just beauty see, and in short measures, life and perfect peace.
O Captain, My Captain was written by Walt Whitman, one of the most influential poets in American literature. He wrote the poem after the assassination of Abraham Lincoln, a president he greatly admired. The poem is filled with metaphors. The ship represents the United States, while the fearful trip recalls the troubles of the American Civil War. The captain is Lincoln himself.
O Captain, My Captain, by Walt Whitman. O Captain, my Captain, our fearful trip is done. The ship has weathered every rack, the prize we sought is won. The port is near, the bells I hear, the people all exulting, while follow eyes the steady keeled, the vessel grim and daring. But oh, heart, 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 oh, the bleeding drops of red, where on the deck my captain lies, fallen, cold, and dead.
O Captain, my Captain, rise up and hear the bells. Rise up, for you the flag is flung, for you the bugle trills, for you bouquets and ribbon wreaths, for you the shores are crowding, for you they call the swaying masts, their eager faces turning. Here, Captain, dear father, this arm beneath your head, it is some dream that on the deck you've fallen cold and dead.
My captain does not answer, his lips are pale and still. My father does not feel my arm, he has no pulse nor will. The ship is anchored safe and sound, the voyage closed and done. From fearful trip, the victor ship comes in with object won. Exult, O shores, and ring, O bells, but I, with mournful tread, walk the deck, my captain lies, fallen, cold, and dead.
The doors of yore made mighty spells, while hammers fell like ringing bells, in places deep where dark things sleep, in hollow halls beneath the fells.
For ancient king and elvish lord, there many a gleaming golden hoard, they shaped and wrought, and light they caught, to hide in gems on hilt of sword.
On silver necklaces they strung, the flowering stars on crowns they hung, the dragon fire in twisted wire, they meshed the light of moon and sun.
Far over the misty mountains cold, to dungeons deep and caverns old, we must away at break of day to claim our long-forgotten gold.
Goblets they carved there for themselves, and harps of gold where no man delves. There lay they long, and many a song was sung unheard by men or elves.
The pines were roaring on the height, the winds were moaning in the night. The fire was red, it flaming spread, the trees like torches blazed with light.
The bells were ringing in the dale, and men looked up with faces pale. The dragon's ire, more fierce than fire, laid low their towers and houses frail.
The mountain smoked beneath the moon, the dwarves they heard the tramp of doom. They fled their hall, to die and fall, beneath his feet, beneath the moon.
Far over the misty mountains grim, to dungeons deep and caverns dim, we must away at break of day, to win our harps and gold from him. Horatius, L.A. made about the year of the city 360. Large portion of Clusium, by the 9 gods he swore,
Room air for everyone, gather round. The constable responsible. Now how does that sound? Hello, Miss Lark, I've got one for you. Miss Lark loves to walk in the park with Andrew. Ah, Miss Corey, a story for you. Your daughters were shorter than you, but they grew. Ah, Miss Persimmon, wind's in the east. There's a mist coming in, like something is brewing and about to begin. Can't put a finger on what lies in store, but I feel what's to happen, all happened before.
Kiss
So